I knew they'd chosen her the second I opened the walk-in cooler, and the cold hit me like a slap. Opening night. 12 years of blood, blisters, and sleeping on flour sacks in a studio apartment with no heat, and the only thing waiting for me in the dining room was the polite murmur of strangers pretending my food was worth the hype. My sous chef, Mateo, had asked softly, "Your people coming, chef?" I laughed it off, said traffic was murder. Then my phone lit up. A photo from my brother Luis. The whole family crammed into my older sister Valentina's new backyard patio, string lights, custom Valentina's Moment banners, a pig roasting on a spit I'd taught Luis how to season years ago. Caption: priceless night with the real VIPs. They weren't stuck in traffic. They were 2 miles away, toasting a moment that somehow outranked the restaurant I'd poured my life into. My own mother had liked the post within 30 seconds. I stood among hanging carcasses and frost-rimed boxes until my fingers went numb, counting heartbeats like a prisoner counting days. Betrayal doesn't scream. It just keeps subtracting until there's nothing left to take. It hadn't always been war. Once they paraded me around like a trophy. Our Elena, the first to get out, the first with a real career, the first who doesn't need handouts. That last part always tasted like a threat dressed as praise. Independence, to them, was treason with better tablecloths. The slow freeze had started months earlier. Invitations that never included me. Oh, it was just the cousins, Mija. Group chats I was mysteriously removed from. Valentina posting videos of Sunday dinner, my recipes, my plating style, my saffron aioli, while tagging everyone except the person who created them. I told myself I was being sensitive. Then came opening night and the final proof. They hadn't forgotten. They'd voted. At 3:07 a.m., long after the last guest left, my mother texted, *, we need to talk about how much of that place is actually family property, *, no, congratulations. No, sorry we missed it. Just a receipt for a future they still thought they owned. Something inside me clicked shut, like the walk-in door sealing with a hiss. Grief calcified into strategy. I didn't cry. I didn't post fake quotes. I started a new note on my phone titled Receipts. Every birthday paella I'd cooked for 60 people and been paid in exposure. Every emergency wedding cake for Valentina's best friend that I baked at 2 a.m. after a 14-hour shift. Every time my father borrowed cases of wine from my suppliers because family gets family pricing. Every favor, every hour, every ingredient, logged with dates, photos, texts, invoices. By the time I was done, the list read like a ransom note in reverse. 10 days later, I sent the text nobody could resist. * family only tasting menu this Friday. On me. I want to thank you all for your support. *. Greed and guilt are a potent combination. They RSVP'd within minutes. Friday night, the restaurant glowed. I wore the smile I'd practiced in the mirror until it stopped looking borrowed. We served 9 courses, dishes they'd bragged about to their friends, but never paid for. When the final plate was cleared, I set a charcoal gray leather folder in the center of the table like a loaded gun. My father raised an eyebrow. What's this, a love letter? Closer to a divorce, I said, and slid it toward him. Inside, 68 pages. Itemized. Color-coded. Ruthless. Total at the bottom, $72,410. Valentina actually laughed until she saw her own name next to $14,000 for unpaid private event catering, 2019 to 2025. My mother's hand went to her throat when she found the line item for the rehearsal dinner I'd comped for my cousin Marisol, $9,800, including the custom ice sculpture I'd paid a sculptor overtime to finish. The table went graveyard quiet. You're joking, my father growled. I'm collecting, I answered. You taught me everything success belongs to the family. Congratulations, you're successful now. Valentina tried tears. Luis tried yelling. My mother tried prayer. I waited until the storm burned itself out. There's an alternative to payment, I said, voice soft enough to cut glass. Sign the letter on the last page. One sentence, Elena owes the family nothing now or ever. And we're done. No more calls about your turn to host Christmas. No more guilt trips. No more claiming my kitchen, my name, or my life. My father looked like he'd aged 10 years in 10 minutes. He reached for the pen first. One by one, they signed. The paper rustled like surrender. They left without dessert, without hugs, without the doggy bags they usually demanded. I locked the door behind them, turned the sign to closed, and stood alone in my restaurant, truly alone for the first time. The silence didn't echo anymore. It fit. I ran my hand across the marble counter I'd chosen myself, the stools I'd paid for with tips and credit cards and sheer spite. "I don't owe you," I whispered to the empty room. And every corner, every burner, every perfectly tempered chocolate on the pass answered back. "We know."